Hi, welcome to Silent Screams Loud Strength, the podcast. I am your host, Samantha. In today's episode, we are talking about interruption of people's karma, the art of loving without interruption or interfering in one's growth. So, this isn't about judgment. It's about learning to love people without interrupting their karma, their journey to recovering, their journey to healing, accepting one as they come. So, the survivor's syndrome, let's start from there and let's start being honest with one another. Most of us who have big hearts are fixers. We like to sort things out for others. We see someone struggling and our instinct is to rush and rescue them or smooth things over to heal or to serve them. Well, we tell ourselves God sent us, but sometimes God didn't send you to rescue that person. Sometimes it's your survivor syndrome showing up, that deep need to rescue others because once upon a time, no one rescued you. I used to mistake the agency for compassion, but I have learned that not every cry for help is your assignment, or my assignment rather. And not every broken person is meant to be rebuilt by your hands. We can pray for someone, we can love them deeply, and we can care deeply. You can pray for them, but if God hasn't called you to fix them, you might be interrupting their lesson in the journey that they are on. Whether the journey is aggressively painful or really hard to swallow and watch someone going through so much pain, sometimes that is literally the path that that person has to go through in order to grow. How does one grow when they are suffering so much? And how can you just stand there or sit there and not offer any help? If you're too quick to offer help during somebody's period of transformation, you literally interrupt their growth. Don't forget, I'll give you an analogy. Diamonds are beautiful stones, stunning. They take time. They are formed under pressure. This is the same principle when you stop or interfere somebody's pressure pain point. You need to allow that person to go through and forge in fire, because God has a message for them. If you don't believe in God, the universe does have a message for them. Because through that suffering, through that process, they become who they are meant to be. So here's this truth. Sometimes helping people is more about you than God's will. Maybe you can relate to this. You see someone falling apart and your spirit aches and you think, if I could just show them love, or if I could just show up and change everything for them. But then what is the lesson for the person going through this pain? But what if you could change? What if the change isn't yours to fix? What if your interruption delays their growth? What if your comfort becomes their crouch? You see, there's a spiritual law that growth, transformation, and is one's karma. Karma isn't punishment. It's a balancing energy. It's the soul sacred classroom where you learn. You learn who you are meant to be. When you rush and become a shield for someone's lesson, you rob them of the chance to evolve into whom they are meant to become. You take one's energy that isn't yours. So sometimes just being there or sitting back and loving from a distance is purely the support one needs. And soon you will feel drained and confused and resentful, wondering why peace keeps slipping away through my fingers when you have not allowed that karma to process itself in the way it's meant to be. So because deep down you have interrupted what God was already doing, we need to learn to pray for discernment. So discernment is wisdom in motion. That wisdom allows you to know that there is this forging, this pressure that is brewing within one's journey. And therefore, when you pray over discernment, it's intuitive, refined by experience. Your intuition is refined by experience. You start to gain wisdom in motion, and it only develops when you get still enough to understand the real process of how to discern. It's internal wisdom. So when we pray over discernment, ask yourself before stepping into someone's chaos, am I called in to carry the chaos with this person? Is this the time to go into this chaos with this person? Is this chaos mine to carry? And is staying still and understanding and knowing and learning your discernment. So you have to keep asking yourself until you get the answer that is clear and valid, in order to not only stop somebody's karma and their growth process, but is to understand that helping people is holy work. It's not always for us to interfere. You have to understand whether you have now been actually divinely assigned to help. If you feel confusion, exhaustion, or anxiety while helping someone, that's not God's peace guiding you. That's ego attachment. There's a distinction. But when you are aligned to help, you are guided by God's power and spirit. And the ego has no place to exist. But it's actually understanding and knowing, having the growth within yourself to know that the divine power of God has now assigned you to be in that person's chaos in that moment. The lesson here is the ego does not heal entanglements. Sometimes God's will is very silent. Sometimes it's the space that one needs in order to heal from their karma. Sometimes it's letting go and letting the lesson play out. It's going to hurt them, because love is not control. Love is free. Love is patient. Love is knowing when to stand shoulder to shoulder with another. It's not about sucking somebody's energy away from them or being the fixer of all. Love is about understanding. There's a distinction. I'm here today. I'm at the Ark speaking to you. It's supposed to be my first pilot clinic for people that have trauma like myself. I have been praying for this moment, but as I sit here in the Ark, no one has turned up yet. Maybe this is the message from God telling me that it's not time yet to interrupt one's karma, because they're in their own journey. However, if they are called to come and attend any of these clinics so we can be there for each other, God will point them and direct them to this place. As much as I have talked about it on social media, I have done a podcast especially for these clinics, and I have expected 1 or 2 people at least to turn up so that I can support them, they can support me, we can support each other in this journey. But it's not time yet. Maybe God feels that I'm maybe not ready to receive them just yet. Or maybe God is preparing me for something else. So I have to pray for these moments. I can't take it personally and be disappointed, because as much as we are expectant of something to happen in our time, sometimes God says, it's not time. Let's take one step a bit deeper and guide you. Every person we meet is a mirror and a reflection back to what we are still yet to heal within us. It's like a cosmic mirror. The person who keeps choosing chaos, or maybe they are mirroring the part of you that once believed that you had to earn love. Maybe God is telling us, oh, something different right now, right in this moment, right this moment. But when you're going through the chaos, the pain, you are in this cosmic mirror effect. The family member may keep serving you, or a friend may keep serving you. Maybe they are showing you your fear is not coming from abandonment, or, but when you're not ready, or when you have the interruption, the cosmic mirror doesn't lie. So it will keep repeating the issue and the events that are holding you back, and that pain will keep repeating itself until you see it. But you have to acknowledge it, and you have to want it. So every time you interrupt someone's karma, you create more of your own. Because energy must move somewhere. And so when you interfere the energy, it circles back to you. So instead of trying to rewrite somebody else's destiny, ask yourself, what is the situation teaching you about boundaries, patience, and surrender? What's soul work? This stems back from soul ties. It's understanding. This is real deep work. It takes time. It really does take time. It's soul's work. That's where wisdom